Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Super English Talks. I'm your host, Joni, and today I am absolutely thrilled to be diving deep into a topic that often gets overlooked in its true power and potential. We're talking about hobbies and interests. You know, most of us simply think about hobbies as fun stuff, purely recreational activities we do in our free time to unwind or pass a few hours. But let me tell you, and this might surprise many of you, they can actually play a surprisingly powerful and strategic role in various aspects of our lives. We're talking about everything from crafting an impactful resume and excelling in high-stakes exams like the IELTS speaking test, to boosting your mental well-being and even defining who you are as a person. It's true, who knew? I've always seen my hobbies as personal escapes, not career boosters. But I've learned there's so much more to it. Today, we're going to uncover some genuinely hidden gems about how your passion for something like photography, or that coding project you tinker with on weekends, or even your dedication to a community garden can actually showcase your skills, your personality, and your potential in ways you might never have realized. I'm genuinely intrigued by this topic, and I'm sure you will be too. So, let's get started, and first, let's explore the professional realm. Asterisk.
Segment 1. Hobbies on resumes, the strategic advantage ***. Okay, let's kick things off with resumes. This is a common piece of advice I've heard, and perhaps you have to keep hobbies brief. Almost like they're an afterthought, just a little bit of filler at the bottom of the page. Some even go so far as to suggest omitting them entirely. But I've come to understand there's significantly more to it. How can something as seemingly informal as a hobby become a strategic asset on a professional document like a resume? This is where a lot of people miss a crucial opportunity. While it's certainly true that you don't want to list competitive napping or activities that are unprofessional when presented strategically, hobbies can be an absolute gold mine for demonstrating valuable, transferable skills. This is especially true if you're newer to the workforce, perhaps a recent graduate with limited professional experience, or if you're attempting a career switch and lack direct, paid experience in your target field. Your hobbies can actually bridge that experience gap by providing concrete evidence of your capabilities. That's a fascinating concept, isn't it? Bridging the gap. Let me give you a powerful example. Let's take volunteering as a prime illustration. Did you know that active volunteering for something like a community event or a nonprofit organization is statistically linked to a higher chance of landing a job offer? We're talking about a significant increase, not just a marginal one. Now, you might be thinking, wait, really? I would have thought volunteering was just, well, a genuinely nice thing to do, a way to give back to the community, but not necessarily a direct career booster in terms of statistics. And yes, that's a common thought. But what's the underlying reason for this strong connection? It's all about the skills you gain without even realizing it. While you're dedicating your time for a good cause, you're simultaneously developing and honing a myriad of competencies that are highly sought after by employers. Think about what it actually takes to organize a volunteer event, for instance. You're likely involved in project management. This means planning, setting timelines, allocating resources, and overseeing tasks from start to finish. You learn to manage scope, time, and resources, even if it's on a small scale. Teamwork and collaboration. You learn to work effectively with diverse groups of people, managing conflicts, fostering a positive environment, and contributing to a shared goal. Communication. This involves clearly conveying information, actively listening to feedback, writing proposals, or outreach materials, and potentially even public speaking if you're recruiting volunteers or presenting the cause. Problem solving and adaptability. Inevitably, things go wrong in volunteer efforts. Maybe a venue falls through, or supplies don't arrive. You learn to think on your feet, troubleshoot issues quickly, and adapt to unexpected challenges. This showcases your ability to handle pressure. Leadership. You might take initiative, motivate others, or delegate tasks even if you don't have a formal leader title. This demonstrates a proactive mindset. Budgeting and resource management, even if it's a small event. You might be managing limited funds or materials, making smart decisions about allocation, time management, and organization, juggling multiple responsibilities, and ensuring tasks are completed efficiently, often outside of your regular work schedule. Networking, you meet new people, form connections, and expand your social and professional circle. When you break it down like that, it's crystal clear. All those skills, teamwork, communication, problem solving, leadership, are absolutely at the top of every employer's wish list. So, it's not just about looking good or philanthropic. It's about showcasing that you've got the practical, real-world experience and demonstrable skills to back up your claims, even if that experience isn't from a traditional paid job. That's a massive shift in perspective, isn't it? And the beauty of it is, these skills are often developed in a more authentic and self-driven environment than a structured job. This often impresses recruiters because it shows initiative, passion, and a genuine drive to learn and contribute. But it goes beyond just volunteering, too. Even something like writing a personal blog, for example, can showcase an incredible range of valuable attributes that might not be immediately obvious. You might just think of a blog as sharing thoughts online, but it's far more than that. A successful blog demonstrates exceptional written communication skills. This includes clarity, conciseness, the ability to engage an audience, impeccable grammar, and strong spelling, self-motivation and discipline, consistently producing content, researching topics, and meeting your own self-imposed deadlines for publishing. Research skills, gathering reliable information, verifying facts, and appropriately citing your sources. Content creation and curation, developing original ideas, crafting compelling narratives, and finding relevant external content to share. Digital literacy, using content management systems like WordPress. Understanding basic SEO, search engine optimization to get your content found, and perhaps even social media promotion to build an audience. Audience understanding, tailoring your content and tone to resonate with your target readers, and responding to their comments. Persistence and consistency, building a readership and maintaining an online presence over time. That's powerful, isn't it? It's all about connecting the dots for the hiring manager. You're demonstrating how those seemingly recreational passions directly translate into tangible, valuable workplace wins. So, how do we make those connections undeniably clear on a resume? Just listing photography or hiking on my resume doesn't really tell the whole story, right? It could still seem like an afterthought. Precisely. The key here is to be specific, strategic, and highly tailored to the particular company and role you're applying for. You need to articulate the transferable skills you've gained and link them explicitly to the job description. Let's use the photography example. If you simply list photography, it's vague. But if you're applying to a design firm, a marketing agency, or even a role that requires strong visual communication, you might phrase it like this: photography, portraiture, and landscape developed. A keen eye for composition, attention to detail, and advanced post-production editing skills using Adobe Lightroom, resulting in visually compelling narratives and high-quality imagery. See the difference? You've moved from a generic hobby to a skill statement. That directly addresses professional competencies. This makes so much sense. It's about quantifying or qualifying the experience. So, it's like instead of just saying, I like to hike, you could say something like, hiking in challenging terrains has honed my resilience, strategic planning skills, and problem-solving abilities in unpredictable environments, which I can apply to and then relate it back to a specific job requirement, like overcoming obstacles in complex projects or navigating challenging tasks. You've got the perfect grasp of it. You've taken a recreational activity and framed it in terms of valuable professional attributes. And it's absolutely worth doing a little research on the company beforehand. Look at their website, their social media presence, read their About Us section, and even pay attention to the tone and language of the job description itself. This will give you crucial clues about their company culture and what kind of values or characteristics they might secretly or overtly value in their employees. If they emphasize teamwork and collaboration, then highlighting a team sport or group volunteering activity makes perfect sense. If they prize innovation and independent thinking, then a solo creative project or a challenging intellectual hobby would be more relevant. So, I'm guessing listing competitive napping or extreme couch surfing as a hobby probably wouldn't fly at a fast-paced tech startup that values high energy and constant innovation, right? Laughs probably not. While a sense of humor can be great in an interview, the resume is generally a place for strategic presentation. The point is to be strategic and present yourself as an excellent cultural fit for their team, demonstrating that your interests align with their work ethic or values. And, of course, there are certain hobbies you might want to avoid altogether on a resume, right? Like anything that could be seen as controversial or unprofessional. I imagine anything involving strong political affiliations, highly risky activities, or anything that might suggest you'd be frequently absent due to your hobby would be best left off. Exactly. While your personal interests are genuinely important for your well-being, your resume isn't the place to air strong political or religious opinions that might alienate a potential employer, or list anything that might raise red flags regarding your judgment or reliability. For instance, activities that involve significant legal or ethical gray areas, or hobbies that are so extreme they suggest a high probability of injury or frequent unscheduled time off are best left off a professional document. It's all about keeping it relevant, professional, and focused on presenting a positive and constructive image that enhances your candidacy, not detracts from it. Remember, your resume is essentially a marketing document for your professional self. ***.
Segment 2. Hobbies in the IELTS speaking exam, beyond fluency. So, we've covered how hobbies can be much more than just filler on a resume. They're powerful tools for skill demonstration. Now, how does this all apply to the IELTS speaking exam? That's a whole different beast, isn't it? It's about spoken English, fluency, pronunciation. How do hobbies fit into that high-stakes environment? It is a different beast, but the core principle is the same. Your hobbies reveal a tremendous amount about you, and more importantly for the IELTS test, about your English language proficiency. In the IELTS speaking test, examiners frequently use questions about hobbies and leisure activities to assess various aspects of your spoken English. They're looking at your fluency and coherence. This means how smoothly and naturally you speak, without excessive hesitation or repetition, and how logically you connect your ideas. Can you speak at length about your hobby, lexical resource vocabulary, your range and accuracy of vocabulary, including less common words and idiomatic expressions? Do you have specialized vocabulary related to your hobby? Grammatical range and accuracy. Your ability to use a variety of grammatical structures correctly and appropriately. Can you use complex sentences, different tenses, and conditional clauses? Pronunciation, how clearly you speak and how well your pronunciation can be understood. Are your words clear even when you're speaking quickly? I remember being so nervous during that test, thinking they were judging my every word, every grammatical error, even my accent. It felt like I had to be perfect. That pressure can be immense, and it's absolutely understandable to feel that way. But here's the crucial thing, and I want all of you preparing for IELTS to internalize this. They are not looking for a specific accent, nor are they looking for you to have a particular hobby, or even to present a perfect image. What truly matters is how you talk about it. They want to hear how you can expand on your answers, move beyond simple yes, no, or single sentence replies, elaborate. Use a wide range of descriptive vocabulary. Paint a vivid picture with your words. Connect your hobbies to your personal growth. What have you learned? How have you changed as a person because of this hobby? Perhaps even relate your hobbies to your cultural background, if applicable. This adds depth and personal connection to your answers. Express complex ideas clearly and naturally. Demonstrate a variety of grammatical structures, so it's less about what you do and much more about how you express yourself about it and how you connect it to a bigger picture, your personal development, your skills, your personality. That's actually incredibly reassuring, especially for someone who might not feel they have exciting hobbies. And just like with resumes, being specific is absolutely key. Don't just say, I like to read. That's too simplistic, and it won't earn you many points. Instead, talk about what genres you particularly enjoy. I'm an avid reader of historical fiction, particularly novels that explore different eras and cultures, like the Victorian era or ancient Rome. What you learn or gain from reading. I find that reading expands my worldview and helps me develop greater empathy for different perspectives, as I get to step into the shoes of characters from various backgrounds. How it helps you relax or manage stress. It's my go-to activity for unwinding after a long day. I can lose myself completely in a good story and forget about my worries. How it sparks your imagination or creativity. Reading sci-fi novels often sparks new ideas for my own creative writing projects, pushing the boundaries of my imagination. Specific authors or books that have impacted you. One book that profoundly influenced me was Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. It completely changed my understanding of human history and our place in the world. The details are what make you memorable and allow you to showcase your vocabulary and fluency. One thing that surprised me, and I recall this from my own test preparation, was that even challenges you faced in your hobbies can be worth mentioning in the IELTS exam. I thought you had to present this perfectly polished image. All successes and no struggles. That's a very common misconception, and it's something many test takers worry about. But talking about challenges, setbacks, and how you overcame them actually showcases incredibly valuable qualities to the examiner. It demonstrates your problem-solving skills, how you approach difficulties logically and systematically, resilience and perseverance, your ability to bounce back from failure, learn from mistakes, and keep going despite obstacles, dedication and commitment, sticking with something even when it's hard, showing long-term engagement, learning mindset, what you learned from the experience, how you adapted, your approach, and how it made you better, emotional intelligence, your ability to handle frustration, disappointment, or setbacks constructively. For instance, If you struggled to learn a new song on the guitar, perhaps a particularly complex piece, but eventually mastered it, you could articulate it like this. Initially, learning song name on the guitar was incredibly challenging. I faced moments of real frustration when my fingers wouldn't cooperate, and I felt like giving up. However, I broke it down into smaller sections, practiced consistently for short bursts each day, and sought advice from online tutorials. Through this process, I not only mastered the song, but also developed a deeper appreciation for perseverance and patience. It taught me that even complex tasks can be achieved through consistent, deliberate practice and a positive mindset. That's a great point. It's about turning a potential negative or a difficult experience into a powerful positive, by showing how you learn and grow from those experiences. It adds a layer of depth and authenticity to your answer, which examiners appreciate. Exactly, and remember, the examiners are actively listening for a wide range of vocabulary. So, instead of just saying, "My hobby is fun," which is basic, try to use more descriptive and nuanced language. For example, "It's incredibly engaging," means it captures your attention completely, it's deeply rewarding, means it gives you a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, it's been truly transformative, means it has changed you in a significant way, it's my ultimate escape, means it allows you to forget your worries and truly relax, it's a fantastic outlet for my creativity, means it allows you to express yourself artistically or innovatively, it challenges me in new ways, it helps me unwind and distress, I find it immensely satisfying, it's a passion that ignites my curiosity, I derive immense pleasure from it. So, paint a vivid picture with your words and make those hobbies truly come alive for the listener, which, in this case, is the examiner. And hey, maybe even practice a killer guitar riff beforehand. Who knows, it might impress them a little. Winks, a little musical demonstration wouldn't hurt, I suppose. As long as you can articulate your passion and skills verbally as well. I love it. So, we've seen how hobbies can be strategic assets on resumes, and in the IELTS exam, powerful tools for showcasing skills and language proficiency. But it feels like there's an even deeper takeaway here, wouldn't you say? Beyond the professional and academic benefits.
Segment 3. The holistic benefits of hobbies, beyond resume and IELTS absolutely. This is where the true power and richness of hobbies lie. They are far more than just leisure activities or strategic tools for career advancement. At their core, hobbies are powerful conduits for self-expression, significant vehicles for skill development, and vital bridges for connecting with others and building community. It's like they're a dynamic window into who you are as a person, reflecting your innate curiosity, your values, your resilience, and your passions, all far beyond your job title or academic achievements. That's a profound way to put it. A window into who you are. So, when you engage in your hobbies, you're not just filling your free time. You're actually exploring your deepest passions, developing new facets of your personality, constantly acquiring new skills, and potentially even discovering hidden talents you never knew you possessed. I'm starting to see my hobbies in a whole new light now. This is genuinely fascinating. It really is, isn't it? Let's break down some of these profound holistic benefits. 3.1 Mental well-being. A sanctuary for the Minjani. In our fast-paced, often stressful world, hobbies serve as critical sanctuaries for our mental well-being. Stress reduction. Engaging in a hobby, especially one you genuinely enjoy, can significantly reduce stress levels. When you're immersed in an activity you love, your brain shifts focus away from anxieties and worries, the repetitive, Mindful action of knitting, painting, or even gardening can have a calming, meditative effect, lowering cortisol levels, which are the body's primary stress hormones. Mindfulness and flow state. Many hobbies naturally induce a state of flow, a concept coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, where you become completely engrossed in activity, losing track of time and self-awareness. This is a highly mindful state that promotes deep concentration, heightened creativity, and profound positive emotions. Whether it's playing a musical instrument, solving a complex puzzle, coding, or engaging in a craft, getting into a flow state is incredibly restorative for the mind. Anxiety and depression management. Hobbies provide a healthy coping mechanism for managing symptoms of anxiety and depression. They offer a sense of purpose, accomplishment, and a positive distraction from negative thought patterns. The physical activity involved in some hobbies also releases endorphins, which are natural mood elevators, improving your overall emotional state, cognitive function, and brain health. Learning a new hobby, especially one that challenges your brain, can significantly boost cognitive function and even help prevent cognitive decline as you age. Learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or engaging in strategic games like chess or bridge strengthens neural pathways. IMPROVE's memory recall, enhances problem-solving abilities, and keeps your mind sharp, boosting mood and self-esteem. Successfully completing a project, mastering a new skill, or simply enjoying the process of creation or exploration through a hobby can provide a powerful boost to your mood and self-esteem. It fosters a sense of accomplishment, competence, and self-worth, reminding you of your capabilities beyond your daily routine. That's incredible. So, hobbies aren't just a distraction, they're genuinely therapeutic and enriching for our brains. Like gardening for mindfulness or puzzles for cognitive stimulation. 3. To physical health, movement, fresh air, and stamina. Joni. Absolutely. And beyond the mental benefits, hobbies are often directly linked to significant physical health improvements. Specific sports, obvious ones like running, swimming, cycling, and team sports such as football, basketball, or volleyball contribute directly to cardiovascular health, building muscle strength, and increasing stamina. They are excellent for maintaining a healthy weight and improving overall fitness. Outdoor activities, hiking, camping, rock climbing, kayaking. These not only provide rigorous physical exertion, but also connect us with nature, which has its own proven psychological and physical health benefits, like reducing blood pressure and improving mood. Dancing, a fantastic full-body workout that also boosts mood, coordination, balance, and agility, often in a fun, social setting. Yoga and Pilates. These practices improve flexibility, core strength, balance, and promote mental calm through controlled movements and breathing. Gardening, often underestimated. Gardening involves significant physical activity, digging, bending, lifting, weeding, contributing to strength, flexibility, and endurance, especially core strength and dexterity. Connecting hobbies to fitness goals. If your fitness goals feel like a chore, finding a physical hobby you genuinely enjoy can make exercise feel less like work and more like play, making it a sustainable and enjoyable part of your routine in the long run. 3.3 Social connection and community. Building bridge. Joni. Hobbies are also incredible drivers for social connection and community building. In an increasingly digital and sometimes isolated world, hobbies provide natural platforms for meeting like-minded individuals. Joining clubs and groups, book clubs, hiking groups, photography clubs, crafting circles, sports teams, gaming guilds. These offer instant communities built around shared interests. making it easier to form connections. Online communities for niche hobbies, online forums, social media groups, and dedicated platforms connect people globally, fostering a sense of belonging and shared passion, even if you can't meet in person. Volunteering revisited. As we discussed, volunteering is a powerful way to meet new people, often from diverse backgrounds, all united by a common cause. This can lead to deep, meaningful relationships. Combating loneliness, hobbies provide structured opportunities for interaction and shared experiences, significantly reducing feelings of isolation and fostering a sense of belonging and camaraderie. Networking. Beyond professional, building genuine friendships and connections through hobbies can indirectly lead to professional opportunities, but more importantly, they enrich your personal life with diverse perspectives and support systems. Shared hobbies often lead to deeper, more authentic friendships than just work connections. That's such an important point, especially in today's digital age. Hobbies get us off our screens and into real world, or at least real interaction. Communities. It's a powerful antidote to loneliness. 3-point for creative expression and problem solving. Unlocking potentiality. Indeed. And for many, hobbies are essential for creative expression and fostering innovative problem solving. Outlets for creativity: painting, drawing, writing, playing music, pottery, cooking, even intricate gardening or digital design, all provide avenues to express yourself without judgment or external pressure. This creative freedom can be incredibly liberating, personally fulfilling, and can lead to unexpected discoveries about your own talents, fostering innovative thinking when you encounter a challenge in a hobby, e.g., mastering a specific painting technique, debugging a complex coding project, figuring out how to build a challenging model, or composing a piece of music. You engage in creative problem solving. This process trains your brain to think outside the box, approach issues from multiple angles, and find novel solutions, skills that are invaluable in any professional or personal setting. Learning through experimentation. Hobbies naturally encourage experimentation and iteration. You try something, it doesn't work perfectly, you adjust your approach, and you try again. This iterative process of trial and error builds resilience, adaptability, and a strong growth mindset, understanding that failure is a part of learning. 3.5. Building discipline and overcoming procrastination. Ironically, while hobbies are often about fun, they can be a fantastic training ground for building discipline and overcoming procrastination. Consistent engagement. To improve at a hobby, you need consistent practice and effort. This habit of showing up regularly, even when you don't initially feel like it, directly translates to discipline in other areas of your life, like work, studies, or personal goals. Setting small goals, breaking down a complex hobby into smaller, achievable steps, e.g., learning 1 chord on the guitar per week, sketching for 15 minutes a day. Writing 200 words for your novel helps build momentum and combat procrastination. These are like micro habits that compound over time, making large goals seem less daunting. Intrinsic motivation. Because you enjoy the hobby, the motivation to engage often comes from within, making it easier to stick with than externally imposed tasks. This helps you understand how to harness intrinsic motivation for other areas of your life. Delayed gratification. Many hobbies require significant effort before you see tangible results. This teaches you patience and the value of delayed gratification, working consistently now for a greater reward later. That's a really insightful connection. It's like hobbies provide a low-pressure environment to develop those high-value life skills, like discipline and goal setting. 3.6 Personal branding and identity. Defining who you are, Joni. Absolutely. And finally, hobbies are a significant part of your personal branding and identity. Beyond work, They define who you are beyond your job title or academic achievements. They show your breadth, your passions, your curiosity, and your multifaceted personality. Conversation starters. Hobbies are excellent conversation starters in social settings, allowing you to connect with people on a deeper, more personal level and find common ground. Authenticity. Sharing your hobbies reveals genuine aspects of your personality, making you more relatable, authentic, and approachable to others. It shows you're a well-rounded individual. This is genuinely transformational. I'm starting to think about my hobbies not just as downtime, but as active contributors to my overall development and well-being. It's a much richer understanding.
Segment 4. Navigating the world of hobbies, challenges, and growth. So, we've established the profound and multifaceted benefits of hobbies, from career advancement to mental health. But for many of you listening, the next question might be, this is all great, but how do I actually apply this to my life? How do I find a hobby or stick with one, especially when life gets busy? Let's talk about navigating the world of hobbies, including the challenges and opportunities for growth. That's a crucial next step. The journey with hobbies isn't always linear. There are often challenges in discovering new passions, integrating them into a busy schedule, and maintaining consistency over time. 4.1 Finding a new hobby. Rekindling the spark zone. For those who feel they don't have a hobby or are looking for a new one, the first step is often rediscovering that spark of passion I mentioned earlier. It's about self-reflection. Self-reflection questions. What truly excites you? What activities make you lose track of time, where hours feel like minutes? What did you love to do as a child, before adult responsibilities and pressures took over? Sometimes, dormant childhood interests can be easily rekindled and bring immense joy. What skills do you wish you had? For example, I wish I could play a musical instrument. I wish I could draw or paint. I wish I could speak another language. What kinds of problems do you genuinely enjoy solving, even if it's just for fun? Do you like puzzles, strategy games, or technical challenges? What topics do you find yourself constantly researching, reading about, or watching documentaries on? This could be a clue to a hidden interest. Trying new things, experimentation, low commitment tasters. Instead of buying expensive equipment right away, try a one-off class, borrow a friend's gear, or simply watch extensive YouTube tutorials to see if an activity truly sparks your interest before investing heavily. Many community centers offer trial classes, local community resources, libraries often offer free workshops. Community centers have affordable classes, for example, pottery, dance, language lessons, and local sports clubs are always looking for new members. Check out local meetup groups. Online platforms, websites like Skillshare, Coursera, Masterclass, or even just YouTube offer countless tutorials and courses on everything from coding and graphic design to calligraphy and cooking. Leveraging existing interests. If you already love movies, maybe try film criticism, screenwriting, learning video editing, or even joining a film club. If you love food, explore cooking classes, baking intricate pastries, or food photography. Build on what you already enjoy, overcoming the I don't have time barrier. This is arguably the most common excuse, and it's a valid feeling in our busy lives. The reality is, everyone has the same 24 hours. It's about prioritization and time allocation. Start small. 15 to 30 minutes a few times a week is far better than waiting for a mythical big block of free time that may never materialize. These are those micro habits we talked about. Tiny, consistent efforts that compound into significant progress. I love that, rediscovering that spark. It's not about forcing yourself into something, but finding what naturally resonates with your core interests and curiosity. And the idea of starting small with just 15 minutes is so much less intimidating than committing to a huge chunk of time. 4.2 Hobby guilt. Reclaiming leisure for leisure's sake, Johnny. This is a significant modern challenge. Hobby guilt. In a world obsessed with productivity, side hustles, and constant self-improvement, many people feel guilty if their hobby isn't generating income, or if it isn't productive in a quantifiable way. Like building a marketable skill, the pressure to monetize. There's immense pressure, especially from social media and cultural narratives, to turn every hobby into a side hustle or a full-blown business. While this can be incredibly rewarding for some, it can also strip the pure joy, spontaneity, and relaxation from an activity that was once purely for pleasure. The moment a hobby becomes a job, the fun can quickly disappear. Reclaiming leisure. It's vital to remember that leisure for leisure's sake is fundamentally valuable and essential for human well-being. Hobbies don't have to make money or be career-boosting. Their primary purpose can simply be joy, relaxation, stress reduction, self-expression, or personal fulfillment. Protecting that sacred space of pure enjoyment is crucial for mental health. And preventing burnout. Defining your own value. You need to decide for yourself what the primary purpose or value of your hobby is. If it's pure enjoyment, own that without guilt. If it's skill development, focus there. Don't let external pressures or societal expectations dictate the intrinsic value of your personal interests. It's your hobby. That's a really powerful point. It's about not letting the pervasive hustle culture infect every aspect of our lives. It's absolutely okay for something to just be for pure enjoyment and personal well-being. 4.3 Sticking with a hobby, motivation versus discipline. Joan. Absolutely. Another common challenge is sticking with a hobby once the initial excitement and novelty wear off. This is where the distinction between motivation and discipline becomes critical. Motivation is fickle. Discipline is consistent. Motivation is that initial surge of enthusiasm that gets you started. It's exciting and energizing. However, motivation can easily wane. Discipline, on the other hand, is the quiet, unwavering commitment to show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired or busy. It's the engine that keeps you going long term. Setting small, achievable goals, instead of an overwhelming goal like I want to become a concert pianist. Aim for smaller, more manageable steps like I will practice scales for 15 minutes today. Or I will learn one new chord this week. Celebrate these small wins. They build momentum and confidence. Finding accountability partners. If it's a social hobby, the group itself often provides accountability. For solo hobbies, share your goals with a friend or family member, or use an app to track your progress. And remind you, knowing someone else is aware of your commitment can be a powerful motivator. Dealing with plateaus. Every learning curve has plateaus where progress seems to stall, and it feels like you're not getting any better despite effort. This is where many people give up. Recognize it as a normal part of the process. Seek new techniques, change your approach, or simply push through with consistent effort. Patience is key. Making it easy, reduce friction wherever possible. Keep your guitar out where you can see it. Keep your running shoes by the door, or your craft supplies easily accessible. The easier it is to start the activity, the more likely you are to do it regularly. Create an environment that encourages your hobby. That's great advice. Make it easy, make it small, and understand that motivation comes and goes, but discipline is the consistent force that keeps you going. 4.4 When a hobby becomes a job. The pros and cons. This is a dream for many, turning a passion into a profession. But it comes with its own unique set of pros and cons that are important to consider carefully. Pros. The obvious advantages include doing what you love for a living, experiencing a profound sense of intrinsic motivation, potentially achieving financial independence, and deriving deep personal satisfaction from your work. It can feel incredibly fulfilling to create value from something you genuinely enjoy. Cons: pressure and deadlines. The joy of the hobby can diminish significantly when it becomes a source of income and is tied to client demands, strict deadlines, and financial pressure. What was once a relaxing escape now has external expectations. Loss of playfulness. What was once a playful, carefree escape can quickly transform into work, potentially leading to burnout or a complete loss of the original passion. The fun can be replaced by obligation. Administrative burden. Turning a hobby into a business means dealing with finances, marketing, client management, legalities, and administrative tasks. These aspects can overshadow the creative or enjoyable core of the hobby, taking up significant time and energy. The need for a new hobby. Ironically, people who successfully monetize their main hobby often find they need a new, separate hobby, purely for relaxation, creative outlet, and stress relief, precisely because their former hobby is now their job. Maintaining passion. If a hobby does become a job, it's crucial to consciously carve out time for the play aspect of it. Perhaps dedicate specific hours to personal projects without commercial pressure, simply for the love of the craft. This helps sustain the original passion. That's a very balanced perspective. It's a dream, but one that needs careful navigation to ensure the passion isn't extinguished by the demands of business. 4.5 Balancing multiple hobbies and impact of technology. Joni, absolutely. And then there's the challenge of balancing multiple hobbies, especially when you have many interests or limited time. Prioritization. It's often impossible to pursue everything with equal intensity, especially if your hobbies require significant time or resources. Prioritize what's most important or most fulfilling to you at a given time. Time management. As we discussed, small, consistent efforts are often better than sporadic, intense bursts. Even 15 to 30 minutes dedicated to a hobby several times a week can add up significantly over time. Cyclical engagement. Some hobbies might be seasonal, or you might find yourself cycling through them, dedicating more focused time to one for a few months, then switching your primary focus to another. This prevents burnout and keeps things fresh. And we can't talk about hobbies today without acknowledging the immense impact of technology. Pros. Access to learning, YouTube tutorials, online courses, forums, virtual classes, and apps make it easier than ever to learn almost any hobby, from coding to cooking to playing an instrument, often for free or at a low cost. Community. Global online communities, social media groups, and dedicated platforms connect enthusiasts regardless of geographical location, fostering a sense of shared passion and support. Tools. Digital tools for art, music production, video editing, coding, and writing have opened up new avenues for creative expression that weren't possible before. Inspiration. Platforms like Pinterest, Instagram, Behance, and Flickr offer endless inspiration and showcases of what's possible within various hobbies. Cons: overwhelm. The sheer number of choices and resources available online can lead to analysis paralysis, making it difficult to pick one hobby or even know where to start. Passive consumption. It's easy to fall into the trap of spending more time watching others do a hobby, for example, watching YouTube tutorials, than actually doing it yourself. This can hinder your own progress. Comparison trap. Constantly comparing your progress or output to the polished, curated results of others online can lead to discouragement, self-doubt, and a feeling of inadequacy. Screen time. Many digital hobbies add to overall screen time, which might detract from physical activity, outdoor experiences, or in-person social interactions that are also crucial for well-being. That's a really important discussion. Technology is a double-edged sword, a huge enabler for hobbies, but also potentially a distraction or a source of comparison.
Segment 5, Interactive English Practice and Advanced Application Now. For all our English learners out there, let's tie this all back to how you can actively use this conversation and these concepts to boost your English language skills. This isn't just about passive listening. It's about active engagement, which is the fastest way to improve. 5.1 Vocabulary Deep Dive, expressing passion and skill throughout our discussion. I have used a lot of rich vocabulary to describe hobbies, their benefits, and the feelings associated with them. Let's highlight some key terms and phrases you can immediately integrate into your own English conversations, writing, and, importantly, your IELTS speaking practice. Here are some essential terms and their usage. Hobbies and interests beyond just these two words. You can use leisure activities, pastimes, pursuits, recreational activities. Example, gardening is one of my favorite pastimes. Passion and enjoyment. I'm an avid reader, gardener, hiker. Meaning very enthusiastic and dedicated. Example, I'm an avid reader of historical fiction. I'm passionate about topic, activity. Example, I'm passionate about learning new languages. I derive immense pleasure, satisfaction from doing something. A more formal and advanced way to say I enjoy. Example, I derive immense satisfaction from baking bread from scratch. It's incredibly engaging, rewarding, fulfilling, therapeutic, restorative. Strong adjectives to describe the experience. Example, playing the piano is incredibly engaging and deeply restorative for me. I can lose myself completely in it, meaning you become fully absorbed and lose track of time. Example, when I'm painting, I can lose myself completely for hours. It ignites my curiosity, creativity, suggests sparking inspiration. Example, exploring new cultures through travel always ignites my curiosity. It's my go-to activity for unwinding, de-stressing, relaxation. Your preferred method for a specific outcome. Example, reading a good book is my go-to activity for unwinding after work. It brings me a sense of joy, calm, purpose, accomplishment. Example, volunteering brings me a profound sense of purpose. Skills and development. Transferable skills. Skills learned in one context that apply effectively to another. Example, leadership skills gained through my hobby are highly transferable to my professional role. Hone, develop, cultivate, enhance. A skill. Verbs indicating improvement or growth. Example, my coding projects help me hone my problem-solving abilities. Demonstrate, showcase abilities. To clearly show or prove your skills. Example, my portfolio of designs helps me showcase my creative abilities. Specific skills to name, problem-solving abilities, critical thinking, analytical skills. Resilience, perseverance, dedication, adaptability, leadership, communication, teamwork, fine motor skills. Strategic planning. Example, playing chess has sharpened my strategic planning and analytical skills. Brain-related benefits, cognitive function, mental acuity, spatial reasoning. Example, learning a new instrument can boost your cognitive function. Challenges. And overcoming. I faced a challenge, setback, obstacle. Example, I faced a significant challenge when I tried to learn a new programming language. I struggled with something. Example, initially. I struggled with the complex techniques of pottery. It required a lot of perseverance, dedication, discipline. Example, mastering the piece required immense perseverance and consistent dedication. I overcame the difficulty by strategy. Example, I overcame the coding bug by breaking the problem down into smaller parts. It was a learning curve, a period of learning new things. Often difficult. Example, starting a blog had a steep learning curve, especially with SEO. It taught me a valuable lesson about topic. Example, the experience taught me a valuable lesson about the importance of patience. General expressions, hidden gems, valuable things not easily noticed. Secret sauce, a special quality or ingredient that makes something successful. Bridge the gap, connect to different things or overcome a deficiency. Connect the dots. Understand the relationship between different ideas or facts. One-size-fits-all solution. A solution that works for everyone. Double-edged sword, something that has both good and bad consequences. Paradoxical, something that seems contradictory or illogical but may be true. I highly recommend pausing the video and taking notes on these phrases. Try to incorporate them into your own speaking and writing about your hobbies. The more you use them, the more natural they will become. 5.2 Phraseology and idioms. In context, I've used some great idiomatic expressions throughout our conversation. Let's pick a few and explain them in context for you. Hidden gems. We used this early on. It means something valuable or desirable that is not easily seen or found. Example, my quiet hobby of birdwatching has been a hidden gem for my mental peace and focus. Secret sauce. This refers to a special quality, ingredient, or method that makes something distinctive or successful. Example, her unique artistic style is her secret sauce. That makes her paintings stand out. Hit the ground running. To start an activity or job quickly and effectively without needing much preparation. Example, thanks to her extensive volunteer experience, she could hit the ground running in her new project management role. Food for thought. Something that makes you think carefully about an idea or topic. Example, this discussion about the benefits of hobbies has given me a lot of food for thought about how I spend my free time. Time suck. Something that consumes a lot of time, often unproductively or unnecessarily. Example, mindless scrolling on social media can be a huge time suck if you're not careful. Mind-body connection, the relationship between your thoughts, feelings, and how your body functions, often implying they influence each other. Example, yoga is wonderful for strengthening the mind-body connection, promoting both physical and mental harmony. Paint a picture with your words to describe something so clearly or vividly that the listener can easily imagine it. Example, when you talk about your hiking adventures, you really paint a picture with your words, making me feel like I was there. Common misconception, a belief that is widely held by many people but is, in fact, false or inaccurate. Example, it's a common misconception that all successful people are early risers. Many are night owls. A slippery slope, a course of action that seems to be a good idea or harmless at first, but that can lead to increasingly serious or undesirable problems. Example, allowing work emails to bleed into your personal evening time can be a slippery slope to burnout. A double-edged sword, something that has both advantages and disadvantages, or good and bad consequences. Example: the internet is a double-edged sword for hobbies. It offers vast resources, but also endless distractions. Spark joy, passion, interest, to cause a feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, or interest in something. Example: I'm looking for a new hobby that will truly spark joy and ignite my creativity. Fickle, changing frequently, especially as regards one's loyalties, interests, or emotions. Example: motivation can be fickle, but consistent discipline is what truly drives long-term progress. The hustle culture, a contemporary cultural trend that values constant work, productivity, and the relentless pursuit of ambitious goals, often to the detriment of personal well-being and leisure. Example: it's important not to let the hustle culture make you feel guilty for simply enjoying pure leisure and relaxation. 5.3 Structured practice questions and monologue prompts. Okay, now for the most important part, putting everything we've talked about into practice. I'm going to give you some questions and prompts, similar to what you might get in an IELTS speaking test or a job interview. Your task is to pause the video after each one and try to answer aloud, using the vocabulary and strategies we've discussed. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on fluency, expansion, and using rich, descriptive language. Practice makes perfect.
Let's start with some general questions, then move to more specific scenarios. Practice question 1 general. Describe a hobby or interest that you are truly passionate about. Why do you enjoy it so much? And how does it make you feel?
Well, I'd have to say my true passion lies in amateur astrophotography, which is basically taking photos of the night sky, galaxies, nebulae, planets. I find it incredibly engaging because it connects me to something so vast, mysterious, and ancient. The process involves meticulous planning, setting up my telescope and camera, enduring cold nights, and then the intricate post-processing on the computer. It truly allows me to lose myself for hours, completely forgetting about daily stresses and mundane worries. It's deeply restorative for my mind, and it consistently ignites my curiosity about the universe and its wonders. The moment I capture a faint nebula or a distant galaxy, there's an immense sense of accomplishment and awe that's truly unique. It's not just a hobby, it's a portal to the cosmos.
Practice question 2 skills and benefits. What specific skills have you developed through this hobby? And how have those skills been transferable to other areas of your life, such as your studies or work?
My hobby of astrophotography has actually helped me cultivate a surprising number of transferable skills. Firstly, it demands significant patience and perseverance. You can spend hours collecting light for a single image, and setbacks like cloudy nights or equipment malfunctions are common. This has certainly helped me approach long-term projects at work with greater resilience and a more disciplined mindset, understanding that good results often require sustained effort. Secondly, it requires meticulous planning and organization, from knowing celestial mechanics to managing complex equipment and processing workflows. This has directly enhanced my project management abilities and my attention to detail. Finally, the post-processing involves significant problem-solving and analytical skills, as I'm constantly adjusting images, reducing noise, and bringing out faint details, which translates to a more methodical approach to troubleshooting in my professional life. It's truly a microcosm of broader skills.
Practice question 3 challenges and growth. Tell us about a time you faced a significant challenge or difficulty with one of your hobbies. How did you overcome it, and what did you learn from that experience?
A significant challenge I faced with my hobby of learning to play the classical guitar was mastering a particularly difficult piece by Fernando Sor. It seemed incredibly complex initially, with intricate finger-picking patterns and rapid chord changes, and my fingers just wouldn't coordinate. I felt a lot of frustration, and there were many moments I wanted to give up, thinking it was beyond my ability. This was a real learning curve. However, I decided to tackle this obstacle systematically. I broke the piece down into much smaller, manageable sections, sometimes just a few notes at a time. I used a metronome to practice at a painfully slow pace, gradually increasing the speed. I also sought advice from online tutorials and watched professional guitarists play the piece to understand their technique. Through this consistent, deliberate practice and a shift in my approach, I eventually started to make progress, and after several weeks, I could play the entire piece. It taught me a valuable lesson about the power of incremental progress and the importance of persistence. It showed me that even seemingly impossible skills can be learned with enough dedication, the right strategy, and a refusal to be defeated by temporary setbacks. It significantly boosted my resilience.
Practice question for future and aspirations. Is there a new hobby you would like to try in the future? Why does it interest you? What do you hope to gain from it? And how do you plan to start?
I've always been intrigued by pottery, specifically working with a potter's wheel. And it's a new hobby I'm absolutely keen to try in the future. It interests me because it seems to be an incredible outlet for creativity and offers a very tactile, hands-on experience, which is a nice contrast to my typically digital hobbies and work. There's something deeply appealing about shaping something from raw clay into a beautiful, functional object. I hope to gain a sense of groundedness and mindfulness from it, as I imagine it requires intense focus and patience to master the wheel. The idea of creating something tangible with my own hands is also immensely rewarding to me, and it would foster a deeper appreciation for craftsmanship and artistry. I also think it could be a great way to relieve stress and enter a flow state. My plan to start is to first watch some introductory videos on YouTube to get a basic understanding of the process. Then, I'll look for a local community art center or a pottery studio that offers beginners classes. I prefer to learn in a structured environment with an instructor, as I think the immediate feedback would be invaluable. I'm not looking to become a professional potter, but simply to explore this creative avenue and enjoy the process.
This has been an absolutely incredibly rich and insightful discussion, wouldn't you agree? We've explored how hobbies are strategic assets on resumes and in the IELTS, powerful tools for mental and physical well-being, crucial for social connection, and even essential for building discipline and defining our personal brand. It's clear that by understanding how to leverage them effectively, how to choose them, how to integrate them into a busy life, how to stick with them, and how to articulate their value, we can genuinely unlock a world of opportunities, both personally and professionally. It's about recognizing the inherent profound value in what we love to do. I truly love that perspective. It's not just about padding our resumes or passing a test. It's about recognizing the fundamental, intrinsic value in what we love to do, and allowing those passions to enrich every facet of our existence. And who knows, maybe by consciously embracing and sharing our passions with the world, we'll even inspire others to discover their own hidden talents or pursue those long-forgotten dreams that have been waiting to be dusted off. That's a beautiful thought and a perfect note to transition into our final message for you, our amazing listeners, as we wrap up this deep dive into the surprisingly significant world of hobbies and interests. So, for all of you out there, I have one final, thought-provoking question for you. If you were an interviewer, or if you were an IELTS examiner, what hobby on a resume, or what hobby described in an IELTS speaking test, would instantly make you want to learn more about the candidate. What specific hobby and why would it catch your eye and make you curious? For me, personally, it would be something that demonstrates both creativity and a sustained willingness to learn new things or overcome complex challenges. So, for instance, learning a new, challenging language to fluency, for example, Japanese, Arabic, or Mandarin. This indicates immense dedication, cognitive flexibility, cultural curiosity, and the ability to persist through difficulty, picking up a complex musical instrument and performing publicly. This speaks volumes about discipline, emotional intelligence, the ability to work towards long-term goals, and performance under pressure. Competitive problem solving, for example, chess, debate, competitive programming, or even complex puzzle design. This highlights strong analytical skills, strategic thinking, resilience, and the ability to thrive under intellectual pressure. Restoring antique furniture, classic cars, or intricate mechanical devices. This demonstrates incredible patience, meticulous attention to detail, sophisticated problem solving, and often a blend of practical, technical, and aesthetic skills. Long-distance cycling, hiking through challenging terrain, or participating in ultramarathons. This showcases extraordinary physical and mental endurance, intense goal setting, rigorous discipline, and the ability to push personal limits. Volunteer work that involves significant leadership, responsibility, or tangible, measurable impact on a community. This again, powerfully demonstrates leadership, empathy, initiative, and the ability to collaborate effectively. It's ultimately something that demonstrates a profound thirst for knowledge, a genuine desire to push beyond one's comfort zone, and the unwavering perseverance to see a challenging endeavor through to completion. Those are the kinds of qualities that stand out. So, to all of you, my incredible listeners, I genuinely encourage you to share your answers to that question with us on social media. Use the hashtag English Podcast Lab Hobbies. I can't wait to read what unique and inspiring hobbies you all have, and how you articulate their value. Your responses will inspire others. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the surprisingly significant world of hobbies and interests. I truly hope this conversation has not only enriched your English, vocabulary, and speaking skills, but also inspired you to look at your own passions with renewed appreciation and strategic understanding. I'll see you next time on our next adventure here at the Super English Talks. Until then, keep exploring those passions, keep honing those skills, and remember, even the smallest hobby can have a truly monumental impact on who you are, what you achieve, and how you experience the world. That's so true, and hey, you never know, your hobby could even turn into your dream career someday, or simply be the source of your greatest joy and balance in life. That's the beauty of hobbies, isn't it? They can lead us down unexpected and incredibly fulfilling paths. So, embrace your passions and see where they take you. Wise words, I believe. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this topic with all of you today. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep into the things that make you uniquely you. See you next time. If you found this deep dive helpful for your English listening and speaking practice, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Super English Talks channel for more advanced English lessons and insightful discussions. Leave a comment below. What hobby on a resume would make you want to learn more about a candidate? Share your insights.